Hey guys, it's Mind Yourself here. Sorry I sound a little bit upset. Um, I'll tell you in a second. Hang on. Hang on a second. You're probably wondering why I've got a roll of toilet paper with me. Um, you guys remember Murphy, our oldest male Great Dane? He's been with us now for about 6 years. He's been with us now for about 6 years. Recently, this afternoon, we hadn't seen him for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. He hadn't been hanging around the house, the front of the house by the front door where he normally is. So we go out to, find him and bring him round, and he comes round and he's all tense towards his back end, around his belly and his intestines, and he was extremely tense and tight. And we found out about an hour ago that he had severe bloating, which in dogs is sort of like the worst kind of cancer. And he usually, when they're that tense, it means that their bowel has already twisted, and they've only got another 40 minutes to live. And you guys know how much he meant to our family, and how much of a family member he actually was. And you guys remember how much fun we used to have with him, and how much he meant to our family, and how much he meant to me personally. He's at one point he actually saved my life, and I just wish I could have done the same for him. Murphy is 12 in our years. I'm not exactly sure how old he is in dog years, because I haven't looked it up. And he was my world. Whenever I came home from school, he'd always be there greeting me. He'd always be there, he protected our family. If someone walked past that he didn't like, or didn't like, was feeling a bit uncomfortable around, that he's scared that they'd do something to us, he'd tell us, and he'd growl, and he'd get a lot quite uncomfortable about it. And we brought him in because he was frothing from the mouth quite badly, and we brought him inside the house, and he came around here and he just sat right in front of me here. You can't see it, but we've got a bed down here on the ground. We just laid him there and got him wrapped up all nice and warm. But every time he got up, he'd sort of lose himself, and a few times he was heading to a state of paralysis practically. And when Mum's best friend Dee got here, she pulls up. We're starting to take him down the path, and that's when it really hits. That's when we see him really struggling, and he just refused to move. He was just standing there looking around as if to say, just let me die. And it took us, if we'd have gotten into the vet earlier than we did. Thanks for that. That means a lot. Because we've only got one car at the moment, because our other car is still being repaired, because nothing. Every time we fix it, once we've fixed it, it's one thing, another thing breaks, but that's a different story for another video. So we had to wait for Mum's friend to come all the way from Julimar, which is at least half an hour away from our place. And in that half an hour, I think was when, roughly in that half an hour gap that there was, I think that was probably the time that he ended up at his worst. And a lot of people are going to sit there and say, oh, you're a wimp and things like that. And I'm just going to sit. And to be honest, yeah, I understand. I'm really teary, slightly angry about it. But, and I'm coming out and talking to you guys because that makes me feel a lot better. And because you guys are like my family, you guys know what I'm going through, and you guys give me the support that not many other people can. And that's the beauty thing about YouTube, is it just, you got the YouTube community, and they sit there and they support you through things. You get the odd hate comment, things like that, but a majority of the users on YouTube, shut up, Baker. We're bloody pink and grey rescue. And Mum, it's like, and then he came out and laid outside with us because Mum wanted to have a smoke because she was quite stressed, and so am I. We went and sat outside, and he started getting quiet. Shut up. I'll put a blanket over you in a minute so you're quiet. And yeah, we're sitting there, and I just got up and said to Mum, I'm not going to be able to come to the vet because there's not going to be enough room in the car for me to come. And can you get my photo? Because this is going to be the last time I ever get to see him again. And she turned around and said, yeah, not a problem. I'll gladly get a photo of you guys. And about 20 minutes ago, when they left, I came back inside and messaged my brother, who's down working at the Royal Show. He's on security down at the show. And I had to break the news to him. And that was probably one of the hardest things I've done in my entire life, because telling someone else that their dog has died is extremely, and a lot of people are going to sit there and say you're tearing up just for the camera, but I'm not, because he was like my brother. He was always there with me. If I was upset, he'd come and he'd sit with me, and he'd sit there for hours on end and would not leave my side. If I was to go outside, he'd demand to come with me. And I'm just shattered the fact that he's gone. You know, at about 5 o'clock was the last time I got to see him. Because that was when he left. So basically got to the vet. And the hardest part for me and my mum is my mum's got several diseases and stuff like that I'm not going to mention because that's personal and confidential and I don't want to talk about it. And which prohibits her from being able to work. And so because she's unable to work, she's got no money coming in. So we can't pay to get him put down because it's like $300 a needle because of how hard it is to make the fluid that they use. But we also don't have any money to treat him. And so we don't have a choice. We've got to let him die. And it just makes us feel like we've failed him because we feel like we failed him because we haven't been able to get any money. And I'm 14 now. I could have had a job by now. I would have been able to pay for this myself. But I didn't get a job. I kept putting it off because I thought I'm too young for this yet. And if I'd have gotten a job by now, I probably could have saved his life. I'll make a separate video to this, just a slideshow of all the photos I have of him. And so I'm going to make a separate video in remembrance to Murphy, because he was a family member. I'm not sure. Just trying to think if we've got any photos of him here. No, I haven't got any photos of him here with me to show you exactly. But I'm sitting here and I've just spent the last half an hour to an hour thinking about what I could have done. You know, what I didn't do. What I didn't do, if I'd have done, I've been sitting here thinking if I'd have gotten a job like I was planning to, and then have plenty of money in the bank, I'd have been able to pay for this. I'd have been able to save Murphy's life. But I wasn't able to because I thought I was unable to get a job right now. That big bloody grandfather clock, that piece of crap. But if I'd have gotten a job and I'd have been able to pay for the vet bill, it was $78 just to get a consult from the vet. Well, it's not really a condition. It's more of a spur of the moment emergency. And if you get it treated that day and get him operated on that day, he'll be fine for as long as he has left, if you know what I mean. Up until this today, he's been absolutely fine. And it's a thing with Great Danes that it's in their bloodlines. It's in the Great Dane bloodlines that they get bloating. And it got to the point where it was in Murphy's bloodlines. I'm not sure if it's in any of our other dogs' bloodlines, which I don't think so. I will have to check that up because that's a bit bad. But that's the thing with all dogs. You never exercise them before they've had their breakfast. About 15 to 20 minutes. We usually do it for about half an hour. Half an hour before they eat. They're not allowed to do any exercise. They're to settle down, have a rest, and things like that. And then it's the same. Once they've eaten, don't let them run around immediately after. Give it about half an hour to an hour before that, so your dogs don't end up with what Murphy got today. Because what he ended up with, no dog should ever have to go through that. And if I'd have been able to pay for his surgery, I would have. I gladly would have paid for the surgery to get him all fixed and all better. But Great Danes usually live for about 9-10 years. So Murphy's done better than they normally do. He got to 12. He's 12. And I think as we speak, they should be coming towards the vet in about 20 minutes or so. They should arrive at the vet because they had to go to Osborne Park because no one else would take him. Everyone else refused to take him. Not because he's got bloating. They'd gladly take any other dog with bloating, but they refused to take Murphy because he's a Great Dane. And because he's a Great Dane, half the vets refuse to treat them. There's only 3 or 4 vets, if that, in Perth and Northern in our area that will gladly treat Great Danes for a decent price. And all the other vets, if you want them to do stuff for Great Danes, they'll charge you $400-$500, $400 to $500, and that's just for a consult. Normally it's like $78 everywhere else. But because they're Great Danes, they get overlooked by so many people, and so not many people know how to treat them and things like that, and that's why they charge so much. And I'm going to give you guys some symptoms just in case you're wondering if your dog has bloating and things like that. You can sit there and if they're frothing badly from the mouth, that's one symptom. If they're tight towards their rear end, around their belly and their intestines, right here, that's a good sign that they've either twisted their bowel or they've got bloating and could lead to twisted bowel. And thirdly is they'll go to a different section to where they normally, like, if say they hang out at the back door and they sit at the back door and they just sit there and wait for you to come out. If they go to a different spot than they normally do for long periods of time, that's a good indication that something's wrong and you need to get them checked out. And I wasn't expecting this to get this long. I just wanted to jump on here and let you guys know what happened today the 27th of September 2018 because it's been a really bad day for me. Hang on a minute. We've got the bloody bird cage over here. And to try and shut him up, I'm just going to put this over your cage, Baker. There we go. So I just put it over. Staffy. What colour was the Staffy? Because I know a friend of mine that has lost a Staffy recently. Went missing. Yeah. And that's the thing I want to do when I'm older is adopt dogs. Hey Luke, how's it going? But one thing I'm going to do when I'm older, and I've got my own place, because it's pretty end of next year, you probably won't see this house anymore because Mum's got no money, and this whole house, Mum can't pay the rest of it off, the rest of the mortgage off, because she's got no money. So what did you miss? You basically what I said on Discord, Luke, and I've just been going through and just talking to everyone, because the more I talk to my friend, everyone on here, like YouTube, the community, they support you more than other people can. You know, you get people on here from all over the world who have dealt with the exact same thing. Well, you get a lot. Oh my God, Luke. Yes, Tom, you were the only one until Luke rocked up. Quick question, Luke. How was the show? Because you lucky prick went to the show, got to go on several rides. I only got to go on one ride all day, and I was there on Monday. Damn, son of a bitch. But yeah, just if your dog's acting the way mine did, ours did, get him checked, because if you think something's not right, then get it checked, because if you don't get it checked, you're going to go through the exact same thing I went through for the last hour and a half, 2 hours. So that was, I couldn't record a video like I wanted to, because the camera on my computer, my other computer, which is the one I normally film on, doesn't work. I've got to get a new camera. So for the time being, I had to use this one. But yeah, that was what the stream. That's why I streamed today, because I just wanted to have a talk to you guys about what happened today. So yeah, I will create another video shortly when I get the chance to. Once I've got all the photos together of Murph, I'll create a slideshow of the fun times and the photos I got of Murphy while he was still with us. And I'll post that in a later video. I'm not sure when I'll post that. I'll just get to it when I can, because I'm still dealing with the loss of Murph. So I'll just get to it when I can. Anyway, guys, didn't expect it to get this long, but I guess it did. Thanks for watching, and I guess I'll see you in the next video. I probably will do a voiceover on that one. I'm not 100% sure. I'll do a voiceover of it and let you know where it was taken and things like that, or I'll just put a backing track in there and just let it go as it is. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Drop a like, comment if you want to subscribe.